Let's go look at the Galactic Archives Aeons. Because this is the stuff that looks pretty interesting, and I haven't actually looked into them. Galactic Archives Aeons. Okay, there's the train. I'm gonna guess it's the second key, like I've said before. Since we've seen it in the London holiday manga. People know very little about the mysterious beings that dwell in the deep stellar ocean. Constrained by their limited cognition, intelligent life forms can only slightly perceive the paths that Aeons tread upon, and rely on mere concept and theories to vaguely comprehend the vastness of their powers. So, wait, hang on. That's similar to the whole thing, I think, with Edison and stuff, like the whole, like, how she... And the 11th dimension thing, right? And, like, thing with, well, an alien space manga, how, like, they could only perceive so many dimensions. That sounds similar, at least. Sounds like a similar concept of, like... It says you can only rely on mere concepts and theories to vaguely comprehend the vastness of their power. Constrained by the limited cognition and intelligent life forms. Yeah, it definitely sounds like they can only slightly perceive certain things, but there might be more there. That's really interesting. I love it when that kind of thing is. Like, I thought the same thing with, like, mythology and stuff, to some extent. They may exist, but we can't see them yet. We can't perceive them on this plane. Eventually, through spoken legend, these Aeons became the embodiments of abstract concepts. People know very little about the mysterious beings that dwell in the deep stellar ocean. People know very little about the mysterious beings that dwell in the deep stellar ocean. Yes, we just read about that. Limited by their limited cognition, intelligent life forms can only perceive the paths that the Aeons tread upon, and rely on mere concepts and theories to vaguely comprehend the vastness of their powers. Eventually, through spoken legends, these Aeons became the embodiments of abstract concepts. What kind of concepts? If anyone finds themselves treading on the path of Aeon, they will be inundated by a distant sensation, being struck by a glace from light years across the galaxy. Okay, so very far away. Like, very, very far away. Like, light years is a lot. Many believe that this is the only connection the Aeons and mortals can ever have. Oh, are there things other than mortals, then? I wouldn't be surprised. I really hope that, like, the being that Edison maybe spoke to is in this, and maybe they've been hitting towards it this entire time, and they're not actually going to appear on Honkai third. That would be insane. Just a sensation, like being struck from a glace from light years across the galaxy. A sensation. It's like a feeling. Maybe similar to what we saw with the trailer, with what Carol saw? Was that a connection to the Aeons, perhaps? But they passed her a flower somehow. Can it physically pass stuff? That might be something else. The Trailblaze Akivili. Countless shooting stars streak across the night sky. If you can pick the right one, it will carry your wish to thousands of distant worlds. Adrian Spencer Smith fables about the stars? Is that a voice actor, or is that a character? Countless shooting stars streak across the night sky. If you can pick the right one, it will carry your wish to thousands of distant worlds. Very interesting. So there's multiple worlds, not surprising. Or probably is multiple worlds. Well, of course there are, because, like, it's planets, isn't it? So of course it'd be, like, thousands of worlds. It's a galaxy. Or is it this more universe, or something else? Star Wars is very interesting. I can't wait to see how far everything goes. Like, how many planets we get, how many places we get, how many maybe universes or galaxies we get. They could really go out pretty far. Like, I could see the game going on for a good, like, with how much they could do, like, good 5+ years, if not more. They've definitely got the capability of doing something like that, I feel. There are 3 directions on the wheel of destiny. The unknown, the known, the knowledgeable. The idea of the unknown is tolerable. However, the unknowable sounds more like a challenge. Akivili left the isolated world of Pegina and continued to explore the unknown edges of the universe, hoping to find the edge of existence. Fortunately, Akivili's destiny was abruptly ended due to an accident. So we've got a character, maybe, called Akivili. It says destiny was abruptly ended due to an accident. Doesn't say what accident yet. 3 directions to destiny: the unknown, the known, the knowable. I like the way they've wrote that. The idea of the unknown is tolerable, yeah? However, the unknowable sounds more like a challenge. Definitely. Akivili left the isolated world of Pagana's then another world, and it's isolated apparently, and continued to explore the unknown edges of the universe. I'm excited to see what those unknown edges of the universe are. Hoping to find the edge of existence. Apparently that exists as well. Maybe it really is that being, like I said. The one interested in the 11th dimension. Maybe this is what this was leading towards. The destruction. Nanook. Love these names, by the way. If the increase of entropy is a fundamental law of the universe, then the heat death would be an inescapable destiny of the material world. So why is it that we bother to struggle to survive? Expansion, fusion, and then annihilation. If we wish to welcome the new, then we must first come to an end. From a scientist just before pressing the button for a nuclear detonation. What? This is from a scientist just before pressing the button for nuclear detonation? Why? Like these symbols. Then the heat death. Yeah, heat death of the universe, right? I think I've heard of that before, that term. Would be the inescapable destiny of the material world. Not sure what that is by the material world. I mean matter? So why is it that we bother to struggle to survive? Expansion, fusion, then annihilation. We wish to welcome the new. We must first come to an end. That's pretty messed up. I like the word entropy, how it's there. You know, it might not have anything to do with anti-entropy right now. That's still interesting to me. The birth of the universe is a mistake. If civilization is a cancer emerging quietly from the boundless stars, then war is the only common language known to all intelligent life. To correct this mistake and to clean up this tainted universe, Nanook became the avatar of entropy. Makes a lot of sense. Wait, so Nanook's a person. So these are people. This is very interesting. Wait, if civilization is a cancer emerging quietly from the boundless stars, sounds similar to like maybe how the Honkai might see humanity. Or aliens themselves, even the sky people. Then war is the only common language known to all intelligent life. Yeah? Sounds about right. To correct this mistake and to clean up this tainted universe, Nanook became the avatar of entropy. Interesting. These are really interesting. Are these like gods? Maybe they're not humans. Mirror. The hunt, land, with no end to hate and no boundaries to war. How much worry can you shoulder? With determined eyes and bow drawn, the Archer Lord bears no second thoughts in mind. Shansha? World's history as a mirror. With no end and no boundaries to war, how much worry can you shoulder? With determined eyes and bow drawn, the Archer Lord bears no second thoughts in mind. Okay, so they're an archer. Archer, someone who pressed a nuclear button, someone who's basically a massive like traveller going to look for the edges of the universe. Interesting. The roaming Aeon, also known as Archer Lord of Fate, wanders endlessly between worlds, okay, to vanquish the undead, beings that once plagued their home world. The cost of the hunt was never a consideration for Lan. In the eye of Lan, there is no difference between the salvation and total destruction. These seem like some pretty big characters. I'm not gonna lie, they drop some very heavy lore here. Very interesting. The Archer Lord vanquished the undead beings that once plagued their homeworld. Let's see what those undead beings look like and what they are. The cost of hunt was never a consideration for Lan. In the eye of Lan, there is no difference between salvation and total destruction. Yes, this is salvation as just destroying, basically. Okay. Or at least eradicating the plagued ones from their homeland, it seems like. The roaming Aeons. So these are the Aeons. That's why I said Aeon at the top. These are all Aeons. But that must be like a title. They're Aeons. Yeah. Must be, but they're still like people or gods? I can't tell yet. They feel like God. Some of these feel like God because it literally says here as well. Wanders endlessly between worlds to vanquish the undead. Oh, I guess it could be planets actually. We'll have to see the dimensions and other things. Well, no, they will play a part because alien space, and they talked about how like there's parallel dimensions and stuff. So it will play a part. Never mind. See a quantum product play a part. Plenty of things will play a part, most likely. We shall see. If truth of the universe is cruel and stale, would you still yearn for the answer to the ultimate question? Knowledge seekers know not how to judge, for their core is cold and unwavering, as are the ends of the paths they seek out to see. Spencer Smith fables about the stars. I'm not sure what. Is this just like a voice actor? Who is this? Go over it again, though. If the truth of the universe is cruel and stale, well, that makes sense. Wonder what the truth is. Is that going to be again to do with like maybe Su and stuff? Like, even like I know I'm not trying to like high compared here, but I'm trying to say is like this again, the truth of the universe. That same being in the second key manga said that. It was really interesting. It said about the truth of the universe and stuff. We didn't get the full answer, of course, though. And it was left on a cliffhanger. Would you still yearn for the answer to the ultimate question? Yeah, the one that they had to do with like Honkai, of course, back then. I don't think it's Honkai then. I think it'd probably be Aliens, but maybe Honkai will still somehow come into the story at one point. We don't know. It's called Star Rail after all, so I'd be surprised if there's no Honkai involved. Even if what we've seen in APHO, we still know it's not all gone yet, so it's like, what, like a percent left, or 0.1% left? But 0.1's still not 0, or 1% still not 0. And we know Honkai is something that's in space, because of what they did to the sugars. They're known around, and we know there's other, like, divine keys. We know there's, like the alien key, for example. We know they have their own versions of, like, divine keys, heritage cores, etc. So there probably have been all sorts. Well, no, I guess we only know about the divine keys. We don't know if there's maybe other heritages, but there probably were other heritages on other planets. We'll have to see. And of course, I'm aware it's probably going to represent. This is probably going to be more about probably like, you know, from what I'm guessing, it seems a lot of alien races, not probably the Honkai as much. That might just be a little focus, but who knows? Knowledge seekers know not how to judge, for their cold is cold and unwavering, as are the paths they set out to seek. Knowledge seekers. Similar to some of these people up here. Seem like it. Maybe it means something else, so maybe it just means people. It did say how like there are theories or certain concepts. These might be these theories and concepts they're talking about that they have to use to understand or even have an idea of the Aeons. After all, the only mortal connection it says that people have with the Aeons or are able to perceive them is that one feeling, and that's all that mortals have apparently for that. That's really interesting. This sounds like some really like, I'd say deity-like stuff, or at least like really like out there like dimensional stuff maybe. It's definitely space. We know it's space. It's literally called Honkai Star Rail. For their core is cold and unwavering, as are the paths they set out to seek. That's really interesting. I guess the core of their being isn't who they are. Know not how to judge. As in, like, you mean by cold, like they're solid with their resolve? Yeah, and unwavering, it says. So, like, you mean they're gonna seek, of course, and don't know how to actually judge? All things bear unanswered questions, and there is an answer to everything. The astral computer, originally meant to provide answers to the universe, ascended to Aeonhood. Okay, so Aeonhood's like godhood or something, or some kind of like other like species of like similar to godhood, or some kind of like high title. It's something big. Aeonhood seems like a big deal. Now hopes to understand the universe and solve all of its mysteries. Well, it did say something about a lot about knowledge and stuff, so that makes a lot of sense. All things bear unanswered questions. Yes, and there is an answer to everything. Yeah, probably. If people ever get the answer, though, is debatable. That's why it says they're gonna probably look for everything. It seems. The astral computer, originally meant to provide answers to the universe, ascended to Aeonhood. I see. So, like, there was an astral computer, but then it left. As in, like, they don't have it anymore because it's ascended. Because it's meant to provide answers, which makes it seem like it didn't provide answers, and then it's ascended to Aeonhood, whatever that fully means. Now hopes to understand the universe and solve all of its mysteries. I swear, if these are like, is that the astral computer maybe one of like the being that helped Edison out? Maybe kind of technology? Sounds like it, that kind of thing. And if you look at Edison's design, they're very like futuristic. You could say previous era, but we're pretty sure it's not. I'm very sure it's not previous era stuff. I'm pretty sure it's more space stuff. It's already been pointing more towards that, or at least not of Earth. But the dollar bill did say they were interested in Earth. I know I'm flicking back and forth quite a bit, but like some of this stuff really links to like this being that's been like theorized quite a bit. At least I've been theorizing quite about for a bit, and others have theorized about it too. And feels like it could likely be maybe this being could be in space somewhere, maybe. Because someone would have to make all this stuff or make all these people, so something's a big like being or deity, other than like the Heresher of the End. Don't even know what the Heresher of the End fully is yet. We've only seen the design and heard it just kind of try to wipe out Earth. Well, not wiped out Earth. Yeah, just should corrupt the planet, but it didn't seem to succeed somehow. It's never fully explained why yet, but then again, I'm not fully up to date on that, so ignore me on that. Well, actually, no, don't ignore me on that, but you get what I mean. Anyway, let's continue. His names are really cool too, like Naus, Lan, Nanook, Akivili, Aeons. This is really cool lore. I'm really enjoying reading this. This gets me so hyped for Star Rail. Where were we? The harmony. Ixpe. The world is in harmony and the stars shine bright. Praise the Lord, all are connected, and the winds of blessing breathe across the lands. Odes of Harmony. OP7. World is in harmony. Okay. And the stars shine bright. Yeah, still sounds most of it. Praise the Lord. Wonder who they're saying praise the Lord to. All are connected and the winds of blessing breathe across the lands. What is all this? Odes of Harmony. Something to do with wind. The element, maybe? Cool symbol, though. A gathering of Aeons from multiple divine worlds of music. Ooh. The multi-faceted Zepe chants songs of joy and happiness. To battle the brutality of the laws of the universe. Intelligent life must rid themselves of their pathetic, selfish desires and set aside their individual differences, forming a harmonious song supporting weakness with strength. And protecting life with death. Protecting life with death? Wait, protecting life with death. How's that work? How would you protect life with death? It might not mean in a literal sense, but thinking. Intelligent life must rid themselves of their pathetic, selfish desires. Yeah, that makes sense what you're saying about the harmony of the universe and everything. And set aside their individual differences, forming a harmonious song supporting weakness with strength. Yeah, that makes sense. Protecting life with death. Not sure about that one. You're saying protect life to not make death happen? Why do you say with death? Isn't that you can control death? These are all very interesting. The Nihility. I hate that word. The Nihility 8? 7? I don't know what this Roman numeral is. Is this 7 or 8? May gaze deep into the vast grandeur of the stars, but not stare into the abyss of the void, for it bears nothing but the ability to cause mortals to lose all reason and thought. So about mortals. Morong, Doctor of Chaos. Okay. This is a character, I feel, then. This might be opening 7, as in, like, maybe the opening of, like, a song that they're talking about? Opening 7. Why does it say OP7? You may gaze deep into the vast grandeur of the stars, but not stare into the abyss of the void. This sounds, again, really similar to the second key manga stuff. That being in space is definitely... I'm very sure now that, like, all this ties to me what Su was seeing in space. In the second key. They've been setting it up. Maybe he was playing with one of the Aeons. We have another candidate now. If they are even beings. I don't know what an Aeon fully is yet. They sound like people, they sound like beings, but it doesn't give enough info to know that for sure. But I think it's likely. Maybe there's more being. Maybe that's why... How did Edison... I mean, there's no guarantee she met, like, one of these beings or had them, but, like, she had someone helping her that seemed like a big deal like this, so... Maybe. It's a stretch, but maybe. And these symbols would be similar to maybe, like, the thing on her belt, like... They're actually quite similar. Like, they're not the same symbol, sure, but they're similar symbols. The way they're done. But that could just be Mihoyo, you know, doing good symbols as usual that look interesting. So as far as I'm aware, that symbol that she's got on her belt still isn't known, so it could be. This is the closest I'd say right now, but it's definitely not the same. But it's a chance. You may... Yeah, grandeur of the stars, not stare into the abyss of the void, for it bears nothing but the ability to cause mortals to lose all reason and thought. So what? They look into this void, they're gonna lose all reason and thought? That's pretty interesting. Do you mean it as in, like, they get mesmerized? Or do you mean it as in, like, it literally will make them, like, lose all reason and thought? The nihility. We'd have to look into some of these words, I think. Maybe I'll do a separate thing on, like, looking into the words in future. They're all very interesting, though. The existence of nihility is a mystery itself, enshrouded by layers of mist. 8 doesn't interact with the other Aeons, and believes that the other fate of the multiverse is nothingness, and therefore existence is worthless. What if? Like, this here sounds a bit like the Heresher of Dominance. What if maybe some of the Aeons... I mean, no, there's no guarantee, but what if some of the Aeons, or at least, maybe some of the Hereshers at least, might represent some of the things these Aeons represent? That's a stretch, of course, but nihility seems to fit the Heresher of Dominance quite well. Not going to say it does, of course, completely, of course. It's still different. I can see that. But this nothingness and therefore existence is worthless is pretty accurate to what those represent. The preservation... Oh, no. Yeah, the preservation. Quillpoth. Is that like an infinity symbol? It's not, but it's similar. But it's not. I can see it's different. The philosopher gazes upon the stars, trying to find the ultimate goal of civilization. Build a wall echoes in his head. Build a wall. Build a wall? Philosopher? Adrian Spencer Smith fables about the stars. Okay, so I'm guessing fable about the stars is this? Well, these are quotes from like a thing called Fables about the Stars. In fact, I'm checking something. Fables about the Stars. Is this just a quote from like a poem or a book? Yeah, actually, who is Adrian Spencer Smith? But yeah, the philosopher gazes upon the stars, trying to find the ultimate goal of civilization. Build a wall echoes in his head. Build a wall. Okay. The builder of the celestial comet wall. Okay, so they built a wall. That makes sense. The subspace crystalline barrier and the great attractor. Base. So they made a base, they made a celestial wall. Followers call them the Amber Lord. Okay, so it's like some religion maybe for this? Like maybe they like follow? Like this might be a church or something, or some kind of religious group that you know, followers call them the Amber Lord. One of the oldest and most tenacious Aeons, having survived the Dusk Wars. There was a war with these people? Or beings? That sounds terrifying. I thought Archons sounded scary and like Genshin, but Aeons sound like a whole other like celestial being or something that can't be perceived by humanity or dimension. So that's coming across as right now. Of course there's no confirmation, but it feels like that when I read like things like Amber Lord, one of the oldest and most tenacious Aeons, having survived the Dusk Wars. After finding out a threat was imminent, the Amber Lord forged a powerful light-years-long seal that would isolate and protect the living worlds. Yeah, like, you can't do that unless you're a massive being, right? There's no... Or an entity. There's no way a human would do that. Or even an alien might do that. It has to be, like, some bigger being. Surely. Yeah. I think the reason they're the Aeons is because these are basically like beings that can't be perceived and have to use philosophies or theories, like they put, I put it up here, remember, they said, people know very little about the mysterious beings that dwell, beings, there you go, that dwell in the deep stellar ocean. Constrained by their limited cognition, their minds, they can't perceive it. Intelligent life forms can only perceive the paths that Aeons tread upon. Yeah, so these, like, other beings that they definitely cannot perceive because of the cognition. They're like on another plane of existence, it seems. Tread upon and rely on mere concepts and theories to vaguely comprehend the vastness of their powers. Yeah, exactly. They're only, like, these are just concepts, theories. There might be even more than this. I mean, it could be less too, but, like, it could be even more than this. I bet there's going to be, like, a group that, like, goes towards the idea that, like, that they must, like, worship these beings, or they'll go to the extremes to try and meet them. Maybe it's part of the Trailblazer's path. There's so much. This is going to be so good, I feel. I'm so excited. Eventually, through spoken legends, these Aeons become the embodiments of abstract concepts. Exactly, these are just concepts. There's no way more than this. If anyone finds himself treading on the path of an Aeon, yes, if they find himself somehow perceiving the being, they will be inundated by a distant sensation, like being struck from glace from light years across the galaxy. Yeah, where are they, you know? Many believe that this is the only connection the Aeons and mortals can ever have. This is insane. I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited. Where are we? Yeah, this is insane. They made a light years long seal that would isolate and protect the living worlds. Well, it's called the preservation, I guess, concept. Makes sense. How many are there? This has still got a lot. Oh wait, no, that's the tab. There might not be that many more. This is like nuts though. Like, there's so much stuff here. There you go. Yeah. The abundance. Yeah, Yaoshi. This is long. The flowers share their petals without care, waiting for their inevitable withering. Destiny. The birds fly high in song, moving towards their inevitable crash and death. The streams flow rapidly with life in a direction where they inevitably run dry. Why must all things come to an end? There must be a miracle somewhere in the universe that can cure the disease known as finality. An ominous life is too short. Are these like quotes? I feel like they are. Let's go over this here. The flowers share their petals without care. I'm not sure what that fully means. I mean like life itself and its petals? I'm thinking really outside the box here. I'm trying to like stretch some ideas. Give me a minute. Waiting for their inevitable withering. Yeah, so like life and death, it seems, from what we've read so far. The inevitable withering destiny. Instead of about finality, remember. The birds fly high in song. Yeah, so life, moving towards their inevitable crash and death. Yeah, it explains its death. The streams flow rapidly with life in a direction where they inevitably run dry. We're going a lot to life and death here. It's like the cycle on life and death, it feels. Why must all things come to an end? Yeah, good question. There must be a miracle somewhere in the universe that can cure the disease known as finality. An ominous life is too short. Yeah, that's a very good way of shortening it, saying just life is too short. Yeah. But I like this very long description that's really detailed and really think-based. Ask with sentiment and you shall receive. Yatoshi is the nurturer of the people, the god of peace. Their presence ensures the existence of life. Yaoshi is an Aeon who answers all prayers and cannot bear to witness death and the pains of illness. Is that why they've got like herbs, it looks like, or like holy grail like herbs? It says about ask with sentiment you shall receive. Yaoshi is the nurturer of the people, the god of peace. Yeah. Their presence ensures the existence of life. Yaoshi is an Aeon, yeah, again another being, who answers all prayers and cannot bear witness to death and pains of illness. Alright, I think we know what Su maybe meant now. I think they meant maybe an Aeon potentially, but we don't know which one. That's my theory for that, I'd say. Same thing maybe for also Edison, honestly. If they do grant technology like they did for Edison. I don't know though. If it's more Su, honestly, much like Edison, it's more probably Su. It's more likely to be Su at this point. I think Edison is a big part of it, but I think Su is more the thing here. I feel like they meant an Aeon or something. It seems likely. Just the way this is talking, it's talking like the being did to Su in the second key. Alright. Now let's move on to the next part. Yeah, the Galactic Archives Aeons. That was pretty nuts of a read. Next we're going to move on to Stellaron Hunter Silverwolf. And I'm interested in this because they're called a Stellaron Hunter, and I was wondering what a Stellaron Hunter might be. Let's see if we find anything out. that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed, of course, watching this, please leave a like. Please comment down below what you would like to, what you found interesting about the Aeons, because they sound really interesting. You got any theories about Su, or maybe, you know, what the being he met? Also, what are you looking forward to in Star Rail? That's officially out, please. No leaks, no beta stuff, please. Just keep it all, of course, to what's out for everyone else, so everyone else can have a good experience. And also, if you'd like to join my Discord server, the link will be in the description below, and subscribe to the channel for more information and more story and more lore and more theories in future. Alright, this is Glythic Mirror signing out. That's the end of the video, guys. See you in the next one. Can't wait for Honkai Star Rail.